गणानां त्वा गणपतिं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आनशृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनं श्रीमहागणाधिपतये नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुस्साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ओम। Dear friends, yesterday we completed the Sambandha Bhashyam of the 5th chapter. Sambandha Bhashyam is that introductory note written by Shankaracharya. A fairly elaborate note was written by Shankaracharya depending on the question posed by Arjuna and the type of answer given by Sri Krishna. I will not repeat all that, because Shankaracharya himself is going to summarize what all he said in those. In fact, in 2 classes or 3 classes we covered the Sambandha Bhashyam, and what all he told, that is whose karma yoga is superior to whose karma sannyasa, that was the basic issue. So that Shankaracharya himself is going to summarize in 2 sentences, and then this is an avatarika. This forms avatarika, or a small introduction to the first shloka, and then we will get into the text. So we will read the Bhashyam straight away from where we left yesterday. Jayasi chet karmanaste ityatra jnana karmanoho saha asambhave yach shreya etayoho tanme bruhi तन्मे ब्रूहि इत्येवं पृष्टः अर्जुनेन भगवान् सांख्यानां सन्यासिनां ज्ञानयोगेन निष्ठा पुनः कर्मयोगेन योगिनां निष्ठा प्रोक्ता इति निर्णयं चकार. So this is not a new thing which we have seen in the beginning of 3rd chapter. In the 2nd chapter, that is Sankhya Yoga, both Sankhya and also Karma Yoga, they were the whole of Gita, whatever has been told in the whatever is being told in Gita has been given in that 2nd chapter, that is Sankhya Yoga, in a sort of summary form. So in the 3rd chapter, in the beginning of 3rd chapter, Arjuna got it out. Because you say that Jnana Yoga is superior to Karma Yoga, then why are you pushing me onto this Karma Yoga? So that is it. Jayasi chet karmanaste mata buddhir janardana. If you feel that karma is inferior to Jnanam, then why are you pushing me onto this mata buddhir janardana? Tat kim karmani ghore mam niyojayasi keshava. Why are you prompting me to this karma which is actually a ghora karma, which is having so many attendant consequences and whatnot? So that was the question. So then, ityatra jnana karmanoha saha asambhave. Then, jnana and karma, these 2 things are asambhava. Asambhava in the sense, they cannot be simultaneously done by one person at the same time. You can be a karma yogi today and then you can graduate to jnana nishtha at a later date. But then you cannot say, okay, I will also be in Jnana Nishtha, I will also be doing Karma Nishtha. Karma Nishtha means with a feeling of Kartrutva Bhavana. Karma, Jnani can do karma, that becomes akarma. But then here we are talking about a karma where Kartrutva Bhavana is there, the doer, the feeling of doer is there. So that these 2 things, they are simultaneously impossible, because it amounts to having a sort of split personality. A man is feeling like a Jnani at one time, then again he assumes the role of a doer. So that is a sort of split personality which is just not possible in one person at one time. Saha anusthana asambhavat. So that is the meaning. Then at that time he asked, Yat shreya yetayoho bruhi. Then whatever is better, you please tell me. He had asked at that time. Then at that time Lord Krishna had also replied, Jnana yogena sankhyanam karma yogena yoginam. That is another line from the same 3rd chapter. Jnana yogena sankhyanam. Jnana yoga is there for sankhyas. Sankhya means samyak khyayate atma tattvamanena iti sankhyam. That is that which tells you the real knowledge, the knowledge of the self, that gives you the real knowledge of yourself. So that is what is sankyam. Samyak means properly. Khyayate atma tattvam. That the Atma Tattvam, the nature of Atman, the reality about the Atman is well known or well established by this. That is what is called Sankhyam, which means Jnanam. So Jnana Yoga is something which is there for those people. Karma Yogena Yoginam, for men of action. For men of action who want to be in this world and then do some action. So for them, okay, you please develop this particular attitude to your work. So this special attitude to work is what is called Karma Yoga. So these two things have been very clearly distinguished. So that is what is being told in this line. Jayasi chet karmanaste ityatra jnana karmanoho saha asambhave. Saha asambhave means it is impossible for somebody to simultaneously practice them. Saha means together, asambhava means impossible. Saha asambhave yat shreya yetayoho, between these two whichever is better, tat me bruhi, you please tell me. Ityevam prushtaha Arjunena, Lord Krishna, who has been asked by Arjuna about this in this manner. Then Bhagavan, Sankhyanam Sannyasinam, for those Sankhyas Sannyasis, Jnana Yogena Nishtha, Karma Yogena Yoginam Nishtha, for these Karma Yogis, for those who want to be engaged in action, this Karma Yogena Nishtha, Prokta iti Nirnayam Chakara. So he decided, he very decisively he told in that manner. Then Nacha Sanyasanadeva Kevalat Siddhim Samadhigacchati iti Vachanat Jnana Sahitasya Tasya Siddhi Sadhanatvam Ishtam So Karma Yogasya cha Vidhanat. So then in the following shlokas he also said Nacha Sanyasanadeva Siddhim Samadhigacchati. Sanyasanadeva means by merely renouncing, renouncing, you are not going to attain moksha. That is what also he said. What is the meant by merely? Merely sannyasa means without jnanam. Jnanam, sannyasa with jnanam is something which is the ultimate aim. Sannyasa alone, okay, you can take it and then you say involve yourself in this self-discipline, all these exercises relating to self-discipline. But sannyasa alone is not leading you to moksha, because sannyasa is also having its own pitfalls. Sannyasi is still a person who is still having that sense of doership. He is not fully enlightened. He has not done Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. He is only practicing the Shama, Dhamma, etc., etc. But then he is not somebody who has done this Atma Vichara, who has not speculated on whatever the Upanishad Vakyas are there. So these are the things, these are the pitfalls. So one who does not do that, one who does not know this Nitya Viveka, what is real and what is unreal. So all that Viveka and Vichara he has not done. So for such a man, his mind will be attracted. Mind being what it is, Manaha, we have seen, Indriyani Pramathini, Haranti Prasabham Manaha. These Indriyas, the sense organs are so powerful that they hijack the mind. So you see some beautiful thing and then you run after it. So that is what is the mind. So a sannyasi, a mere sannyasi without jnanam is prone to all those pitfalls. If somebody, we have seen several stories where these munis, they go and then they do some tapas, and then all these stories about some god sending some apsara, some divine damsel who comes and some dances before this muni, and then this muni runs after that. So this is basically told as an example to show how the mere sannyasa is not going to give the ultimate result. So sannyasa plus jnana is supposed to be siddhi sadhanatvam. Siddhi means siddhi sadhanam. Siddhi means moksha. In fact, siddhi is a technical word you can note down. Siddhi in Vedanta means actually moksha. Sadhanam, we know. Sadhanam is a tool, a means. What you attain by sadhanam is siddhi. What you attain by sadhanam is a siddhi. In fact, there are 4 books called Siddhi Grantha Chatushtayam. There is what is called Ishta Siddhi, Brahma Siddhi, Naishkarmya Siddhi, and the last one is Advaita Siddhi. So there are 4 books which are called Advaita. These are supposed to be top granthas in Advaita Vedanta. Ishta Siddhi, Brahma Siddhi, Naishkarmya Siddhi and Advaita Siddhi. So this is called Siddhi Grantha. Siddhi means moksha. So where are we? This Siddhi Sadhanatvam. So sannyasa with jnana alone is supposed to give you that ultimate result. So that is what is being told in this line. Let us see. Nacha sanyasanadeva kevalat. This kevalat is an important word. Kevalat means merely sannyasa. Siddhim samadhi gacchati. By merely renouncing, he will not attain moksha. Iti vachanat. By saying so, jnana sahitasya tasya. Jnana sahitasya tasya means sannyasasya. Jnana sahita sannyasa eva siddhi sadhanam. Iti. So sannyasa eva siddhi sadhanam. Siddhi sadhanam means that is the tool for attaining moksha. Siddhi sadhanatvam ishtam. Karma yogasya cha vidhanat. Karma yoga has been distinguished and separately told. So that is it. Then jnana rahitasya sannyasah. Jnana rahitasya sannyasah. Shreyan. Kimva karma yogah shreyan. Kimva karma yogah shreyan. Ityetayoho. Vishesha bhubutsaya. Vishesha bhubutsaya. Arjuna uvacha. So he is putting the entire thing in proper context. Jnana rahitasya sannyasah shreyan. Kimva karma yoga shreyan. Is karma yoga superior or better option, or jnana rahita sannyasa? Sannyasa without jnana, not associated by jnana, not accompanied by jnana. So that is the proper understanding of this question. Iti Arjuna uvacha. Let us read this shloka. We will get back to this shloka. The first shloka we are now reading. Sannyasam karmanam Krishna. Punaryogam cha shamsasi. Yachreya yetayorekam. Tanme bruhi sunischitam. Here, let us see. This shloka, of course, we have explained several times. I have explained earlier also. We need not again explain. We will see. Read the bhashyam. Where is this bhashyam? Okay, sannyasam parityagam karmanam shastriyanam anusthana visheshanam shamsasi kathayasi ityetat. So sannyasa means karmanam parityagam. So that is abandoning or giving up all actions which have to be done. Shastriyanam anusthana visheshanam. Shastriya karma is what is Shastriya karma? Shastram, that is Veda, prescribes different karmas for different people in different ashramas. Different varna, different ashrama. For somebody in a particular varna, this is this karma. Or the same varna in a different ashrama, this is the karma. The same varna in another different ashrama, this is the karma. So, right from brahmacharya, gruhastha, vanaprastha, sannyasa, there are different karmas which have been prescribed by shastras. So, these are all the shastriya karmas. So, abandoning all these shastriya karmas, giving up all renouncing all these shastriya karmas. So, that is what is mentioned here. So, that is then shamsasi kathayasi ityetat. Punaha योगम च तेषामेव अनुष्ठानम अवश्य कर्तव्यम शंससि अतः मे कतरत् श्रेयः इति संशयः किं कर्मानुष्ठानं श्रेयः किं वा तत् हानम् करेक्ट तद्धानम तत् प्लस हानम बिकम्स तद्धानम तद्धानमिति प्रशस्यतरं च अनुष्ठेयम् अतश्च यत् श्रेयः प्रशस्यतरं एतयोः कर्मसन्न्यास कर्मानुष्ठानयोः यदनुष्ठानात् श्रेयोवाप्तिर्मम स्यात् इति मन्यसे तदेकम् अन्यतरत् सह एकपुरुषानुष्ठेयत्व असंभवात् अनुष्ठेय असंभवात् मे ब्रूहि सुनिश्चितम् अभिप्रेतं तव इति. So all this thing, the entire thing we have discussed, I will briefly explain just the grammar, because the meaning we have several times repeated. So what it says is, Punaha yogam cha. Yogam. Yogam means what? Teshameva anushthanam. Tesham karmanam anushthanam. That is implementing or performing the same action, the same karmas. So that you have been shamsasi. Shamsasi means prashamsasi. You are praising, you are commending, you are recommending. So that is it. Shamsasi. Then ataha, therefore, me katarat shreyaha iti samshayaha. Which one is better? So that is my doubt. Katarat shreyaha means which one is better? Iti me samshayaha. That is my doubt. Then kim karmanusthanam shreyaha. Whether karmanusthanam is shreya, superior, or kimva means or tad hanam. Hanam means that abandoning all that. Hanam means rejecting all those things. Hanam. Heyam. You know the word heyam? Hanam, heyam. That is something which has to be rejected. Heya is something which has to be ignored or rejected. So tad hanamiti prasasyataram cha anushteyam. Whatever is better has to be implemented. Any intelligent man, if there are two options, he will take up the more useful option. So that is why. Anushteyam atasya, therefore, yat shreyaha prasasyataram yetayoho. Between these two, etayoha means between these two, yat shreyaha prasasyataram. Whichever is prasasyataram, whichever is superior, tat me bruhi. Karma sannyasa karmanusthanayoho. Then mama shreyo aptihi iti syaditi manyase. And whatever you feel in your own opinion, that will do good for me. Then you tell me, tad ekam. Ekam means anyatarat. Whatever, either or. You know the English thing, either or, either this or that, you please tell me. Anyatarat saha ekapurushthanushteyatva asambhavat. Because it is not possible to implement both of these together, then you tell me. Sunishchitam abhipretam tava iti. Then swabhiprayam achakshanaha nirnayaya Sri Bhagavan uvacha. So the Lord is saying like this, Swabhiprayam achakshanaha. Achakshanaha means explaining or revealing his abhiprayam. Explaining his abhipraya. Abhipraya means opinion. Nirnayaya, that is to clarify. Nirnaya, you know what is nirnaya? Decisively saying something without any doubt, without leaving any doubt. So in that manner, Sri Bhagavan uvacha. Let us read this shloka. Sannyasah karma yogascha nishreyasakara ubhau tayostu karma sannyasat karma yogo vishishyate. This shloka also I explained in the very beginning. That is sannyasa karma yogascha. Sannyasa and also karma yoga. Nishreyasa karau plus ubhau. Karau plus ubhau becomes kara ubhau. That is sandhi. Nishreyasa karau. Nishreyasa means moksha. Nishreyasa, abhyudaya and nishreyasa. These two words we should not forget. Abhyudaya is material prosperity in this world. Nishreyasa is the highest goal of a man, that is the attainment of moksha, liberation, that is freedom from all these things. So that is that ultimate nishreyasa. So that is it. Then nishreyasa karau means that they will lead to that, they will give that result. Both these things, sannyasa and also karma yoga, both will give that result. So this we have to understand properly. This one is a direct thing and one is a aradapakarakam, that is paramparaya, that is slowly it will lead to the say moksha. Nishreyasa karau ubhau tayostu, between these two, karma sannyasat karma yogo vishishyate. If it is mere karma sannyasa unaccompanied by jnanam, between these two, sannyasa unaccompanied by jnanam and karma yoga vishishyate. Vishishyate means it excels, it is more desirable. Vishishyate, it is superior. That is the meaning. Vishishyate. Then sannyasa karmanam parityagaha karma yogascha tesham anushthanam ta ubhavapi nishreyasa karau. Nishreyasam moksham kurvate jnanotpatti hetutvena
ज्ञानोत्पत्ति हेतुत्वेन
उभौ यद्यपि निःश्रेयसकरौ तथापि तयोस्तु निःश्रेयसहेत्वोः कर्मसन्न्यासात् केवलात् कर्मयोगो विशिष्यते इति कर्मयोगं स्तौति. So the last word stauti, you can underline that word. Wherever Shankaracharya says stauti, upacharyate, when he says uses those words, it means that it is a sort of just commending a particular thing. Just yesterday I was telling some 10th class boy, he passes the exam. So you just pat him, you have well done. But 10th class is not enough. He has to do graduation, he has to become a postgraduate and whatnot. So that is the ultimate objective, it is still there. But okay, Karma Yoga, you have done a good thing. You have passed this 10th class, that is a good thing. So like that, Karma Yogam stauti. So that is not between sannyasa accompanied by jnanam and Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga is inferior, there is no doubt about it. But Karma Yoga is also praised in comparison to sannyasa unaccompanied by jnana. So that is the meaning here. So this meaning also is quite simple. All this thing has been discussed in the Sambandha Bhashyam also. Sannyasaha karmanam parityagaha. That is rejecting or renouncing, not rejecting, renouncing all the actions, all the karmas. That is what is called, that is the meaning of sannyasa. Karma yogascha, that is tesham anushtanam. Karma yoga, we know what is karma yoga, I need not repeat. Karma yoga is doing your duty as an offering to the Lord, as an order of dharma, as something which is for the welfare of the humanity, welfare of society, without expecting result from that. And of course result will accrue, but then you will not say consciously expect it. So that is what is called the karma yoga. Karma yoga, tesham anushtanam. If you do a yajna, naturally there will be some, you will be doing a lot of good to mankind. In the process of yajna, you are doing so many dhanams and all that. Yajna phalam you will not want. Yajna phalam means going to some swarga and whatnot, you will not want it. So, but all other, say you are making so many people happy. There is a small economic activity all around, built up around that yajna, we discussed in that 4th chapter. So, tesham anushtanam ta ubhav, and moreover karma yoga, why he is recommending karma yoga, that also we have to see. Karma yoga, yesterday also we were discussing, karma yoga is a much simpler option for people, or for all of us. Karma yoga is a much simpler option. That is something, you are doing something for the welfare of mankind, for the welfare of society, as something which is prescribed to you by dharma, that is as an order from the Lord. So this is something which is simple. And another reason is, Karma Yoga is leading to Chitta Shuddhi. Karma Yoga is leading to that Chitta Shuddhi. When you are doing certain things without expecting any result, when you are doing some dhanam in the process of yajna, suppose you are performing some, you are also performing some rituals in your house on account of certain things. So during that time you are giving some dhanam, and while doing the giving all that dhanam, that indirectly it purifies your mind. Slowly you are giving up something which belongs to you. You are saying, na mama, it is not mine, it is not mine, and you are giving up. So that is the cause for Chitta Shuddhi. So Chitta Shuddhi is another result which is seen from that Karma Yoga. Then in sannyasa, mere sannyasa unaccompanied by jnana, just now we were discussing that there is a danger of fall from that. There is a danger of chuti, fall, isn't it? That point is noted by this gentleman, Nilakantha, in his Vyakhya. Nilakantha, he says that danger of falling from that stage is there. So that is why this say Karma Yoga is commended, because for all ordinary people. So otherwise, unless you have done some Shravana, Manana and whatnot, unless you have that Nitya-Nitya Vastu, Nitya-Nitya Viveka, unless you have all that, sannyasa will be difficult. Mere practice of sannyasa will be difficult. So that is why between these two, Karma Yoga is recommended for everybody. Then Nishreyasa ta ubhavapi Nishreyasa karau. Ta ubhavapi, tau plus ubhavapi, these two things, Nishreyasa karau. One is Nishreyasam moksham kurvate. how jnanotpatti hetuttvena ubhau yadyapi nishreyasakaru jnanotpatti hetuttvena. So both these sannyasa without jnanam and karma yoga, both of these things, they are nishreyasakaru, gradually in a process. If it is jnanam and sannyasa, it is sakshat upakarakam. But these things are paramparaya upakarakam. We have seen these words also. Sakshat upakarakam and arat upakarakam are paramparaya upakarakam. Slowly they will lead you to that level of jnana utpatti hetutvena. Slowly when you are doing all these things, then you will slowly get into Upanishad, you will slowly listen to some Vakya, then you have got all the clarity of mind, you have got all the peace of mind. Because unless a person is having some peace of mind, unless a person's mind is pure, Chitta Shuddhi, what we call it Chitta Shuddhi, unless the mind is pure, these things they will not register in your mind. If you are having so much of raga, dvesha, if you are having so many enemies around you, or if you are having your own enemies, means your own creation, isn't it? Enemy means, other man, after all, he is a person. How does he become an enemy? Because you have made him your enemy in your own mind. You have created certain feelings, you have created certain prejudices against him, you feel that he is such a man, so you have created that enemy. So when you are having so much of, when your mind is crowded with so many things, Shravana Manana will not take place. Only when Chitta Shuddhi is there, Shravana Manana can take place. So that is why this Karma Yoga is Jnanotpatti Hetu. Then Sannyasa, unaccompanied by knowledge, also is Jnanotpatti Hetu, in the sense that after all he has given up this house, he need not pay all these current bills, rent and all these water bills and whatnot, and then he has come out of that thing and he is staying in an ashram without any responsibility. And then he is listening to some Swamiji every day, and then he is trying to speculate on that. He is also trying to cultivate being above, transcending these dualities like raga, dvesha, all these dualities he is trying to transcend. So that gentleman also, over a period of time, so he will slowly get into this Shravana Manana mode. So for anybody to get into this Shravana Manana mode, the mind has to be peaceful first of all. If your mind is fully crowded with so many thoughts, it will not take place. So that is how these two things are Jnanotpatti Hetu. Hetuhu Hetu Hetavaha. So Jnanotpatti Hetu, these two things. Jnanotpatti Hetutvena Ubhau Yadyapi Nishreyasa Karau. These two things, Yadyapi Nishreyasa, though Tayo Tathapi Tayostu Nishreyasa Hetvoho. Between these two causes, these two sadhanas, these two means which give moksha, Karma Sannyasat Kevalat, in comparison to Karma Sannyasa Kevala, mere Karma Sannyasa unaccompanied by Jnana, Karma Yoga Vishishyate, iti Karma Yogam Stauti. So he is praising. It is not as though Karma Yogam itself is superior to Jnana Yoga. Karma Yogam is very important and better than Jnana Yoga, Sannyasa without Jnanam. So that is the ultimate thing which has to be firmly in our mind. Then, Kasmad Ityaha Jneyasya Nitya Sannyasi Yona Dveshtina Kankshati Nirdvandvo hi Mahabaho Sukham bandhat pramuchyate. So here, this shloka let us read. Jneyaha sa nitya sannyasi yo na dveshti na kankshati. Nirdvandvaha hi mahabaho sukham bandhat pramuchyate. So the words, the meaning I will say first. The one who does not hate anybody, yona dveshti, na kankshati, nor desire anything. One who does not hate anything nor desires anything. One who does not hate nor desires anything. That gentleman should be treated as that karma yogi. That gentleman, saha means karma yogi. We are referring to a karma yogi here. That karma yogi, he should be called nitya sannyasi. He should be actually called a sannyasi. He should be really called sannyasi in the real sense. Then nirdvandvaha, he has also transcended the dualities, or at least trying to transcend those dualities. Nirdvandvaha. Dvandva we know. Dvandva means this all these dualities which we talk about, raga, dvesha, etc. Nirdvandvaha, he, yasmat, mahabaho, he mahabaho, addressing Arjuna, sukham bandhat pramuchyate. Bandhat means from all this bondage. Bandha is nothing but bondage. Bandhat sukham pramuchyate. Very easily he will be released from bondage. So this is what is the meaning. So here this shloka is referring to a karma yogi who is consciously practicing certain virtues which are already there in a jnani. A jnani has certain behavioral pattern. A jnani is one who has transcended raga dvesha. A jnani is one who has no desire and no hate, na dveshti na kankshati. So for a jnani it becomes a natural behavior pattern, because he has undergone all this process of self-discipline. So whatever is the characteristic or whatever are the qualities of a jnani, one has to consciously cultivate in order to attain that stage. We have seen this earlier also in the second chapter in one line where that Vedanta of Shankaracharya we should always remember. Sarvatra hi Vedanta Shastre yet whatever is lakshanam for a jnani, that becomes a sadhana for a sadhaka. A seeker has to consciously cultivate those things which are already seen in a jnani. We see a jnani is one who has no dvesha, who has no raga. So then he is above all other dualities. So those qualities we have to consciously cultivate over a period of time. So that thing is seen in this particular shloka. So a person who is in karma yoga, who also consciously cultivates the habits of a jnani, so he should be really called a nitya sannyasi. So in fact it is a sort of a lesson to Arjuna too, because he is telling the Shrota here is Arjuna. So you please do your job. This karma yoga is meant for you. This yuddham, whatever this war is there, it is a part of your karma yoga. And then you go above this raga dvesha. Then you don't think that you are, say you like somebody or you dislike somebody. So that is, it is part of your dharma. So from that point of view he says, Nirdvandvaha mahabaho sukham bandhat pramuchyate. So that is the meaning here. Is the shloka clear?
Yes.
Then let us read this thing. Jneyah iti.
Jneyah iti.
Jneyah jnatavyah.
Jneyah jnatavyah.
Sa karma yogi.
Sa karma yogi.
Nitya sannyasi iti.
Nitya sannyasi iti.
Yo.
Yo.
Na dveshti.
Na dveshti.
Na dveshti kinchit.
Na dveshti kinchit.
Na kankshati.
Na kankshati.
Sukha dukhe tat sadhane cha.
सुख दुख के तत्साधने च
एवं विधः यः कर्मणि वर्तमानोऽपि स नित्यसन्न्यासी इति ज्ञातव्यः इत्यर्थः. Okay. Jneyah means the same thing which we discussed. Jneyah means one who has to be known, one who has to be recognized or understood. Jneya. We know the word jnanam, jneyam, etc. Jneyam means that which has to be known. Here, jneyah means he has to be understood like that. Who? Saha. Jneyah saha. Saha means he. He means who? Karma yogi. A karma yogi has to be understood like this. A karma yogi who is doing all these things. Yo na dveshti. Karma yogi nitya sannyasi iti. Nitya sannyasi iti. Yo na dveshti. One who does not hate anybody. Nothing. Na dveshti kinchit. He does not hate anything. Na kankshati. He does not desire anything. Sukha dukhe tat sadhanecha. Sukha, dukha and all the means for those sukha and dukha, he avoids all those things. That is, he is consciously cultivating the habits of, the qualities of a jnani. So that is it. Then, evam vidaha yaha karmani vartamanopi. Such a person, even when he is engaged in a karma, even when he is doing a karma, then he should be known as Nitya Sannyasi. He should be treated as equal to a sannyasi. So that is it. Then, sa Nitya Sannyasi iti jnatavyah ityarthaha. Then, nirdvandvaha dvandva varjitaha hi yasmat mahabaho sukham bandhat anayasena pramuchyate. Nirdvandvaha is again explaining the meaning of every word. Dvandva varjitaha, without, beyond those dualities. Then he, yasmat, he, yasmat, he means because such a person, O Mahabaho, O mighty armed man, Sukham bandhat pramuchyate, anayasena, that is without any difficulty. He goes above all this bondage. So he is further explaining. Then this shloka is very simple, I think. We will go to the next thing. Sannyasa karma yogayoho bhinna purushanushtayayoho phalepi virodho yuktaha virodha yuktaha virodha yuktaha or what? Yes. Natu ubhayoho nishreyasakaratvam nishreyasakaratvam iti prapte idam uchyate. So there is a small question. Shankaracharya is posing a question to himself or some little Purvapaksha, let us say. Sannyasa karma yoga, sannyasa and karma yoga, we know that these two things are to be, and they have to be performed by two different people. Bhinna purushanushtayayoho. When two different people are performing two different things, the result also should be dissimilar. These two people are practicing two dissimilar things. When two dissimilar things are being practiced, the result also should be dissimilar. How is it that it is one and the same? So that is the question. Not a serious thing. We know answer by this time. So sannyasa karma yoga yoho, that is between these two things, of these two things, that is sannyasa and karma yoga, which are bhinna purusha anushtheya yoho. These have to be performed. Anushtanam, Anushtanam means performing. Anushtheya means that which has to be performed by somebody. Bhinna Purusha Anushtheyayoho. Those things which have to be performed by different people, two different people. Anushtheyayoho. Phalepi virodho yuktaha. Normally, when two dissimilar things are being followed, two dissimilar results have to come. Phale api virodha yuktaha. That virodha, that contradiction in that phalam means result. That is what we normally expect. Then how is it? Natu ubhayoho nishreyasakaratvam. How can both lead to nishreyasam? Ityevam prapte. When that question arises, when that sort of doubt arises, idam uchyate. This is being told by Lord Krishna. Then they will see the next shloka. Sankhya yogau pruthak balaha. Pruthak balaha. Pravadanti na panditaha. Ekamapyasthitas samyak. Ubhayor vindate phalam. So he is making a statement here. Sankhya and yoga. Sankhya means jnanam. Yoga means karma yoga. Pruthak balaha pravadanti. Balaha means bala. What is a bala? A boy. Balaka means he is a boy only. So boy means an immature man. Only an immature person will say that Sankhya and Yoga are two different things. Pravadanti na panditaha. Panditaha evam na pravadanti. The scholars or the people who know the truth about both of them, they will not say like that. Only balaha pravadanti. So that is it. Ekamapi asthitaha samyak. Ekamapi asthitaha samyak. Samyak means properly. Ekamapi asthitaha. If you hold on to at least one thing thoroughly, if you implement one thing thoroughly, ubhayoho vindate phalam. So he will get, he will attain, vindate, ubhayoho phalam vindate. Ubhayoho means of both, phalam result, vindate, he attains. Vindate, this dhatu is vidul dhatu, vidul labhe. So that is the meaning. There is another dhatu called vid means knowing, vedti, vedmi. So that vid dhatu is there. Veda, the very word Veda comes from that vid. This is slightly different. Vidul. That means labhe. That labha means attaining something. That is vindate. Vindati or vindate. That is the first person. This third person word. Vindati means he attains. Then Sankhya and Yoga, between these two, ekamapyasthitaha samyak. If you are holding on to one thing at least very solidly, very firmly, if you there are two paths. You hold on to one path very thoroughly. You follow one path very, very thoroughly. Then you will attain the phalam or result of both. Ubhayoha vindate phalam. That means both are actually leading to the same goal, and then you are going to attain that goal slowly. So that is what he is going to explain. Sankhya, the shloka is simple. Sankhya yogau, dvivachanam Sankhya and yoga. Pruthak bala. Pruthak means separate. Pruthak means separate. Balaha pravadanti, panditaha navadanti. Then ekamapi asthitaha. Ekamapi asthitaha means asthitaha, firmly established. Sthita means stay. The English word stay is sthita. English and says most of the Sanskrit words, they are so closely related to English because English is derived from Latin, and Sanskrit and Latin are so close. So in fact, recently I was reading one book which I recommend to everybody. That is Empires of the World. Empires of the World. It is written by one British linguist, a British scholar. I really found it interesting. Very a language history of the world. It is called Empires of the World. W-O-R-D, word. A language history of the world. That is the full title. Written by one gentleman called Nicholas Osler. Nicholas, O-S-T-L-E-R. Nicholas Osler. So he has written a book describing all the languages in the world, giving a brief picture of all the languages in the world, where he has devoted about 60 pages for Sanskrit. And almost maximum number of pages have been described, have been earmarked for Sanskrit. And then this how this Sanskrit, which is so closely related to Greek and Latin, and then how this language, it has spread to almost the entire whole of Southeast Asia, the whole of China and Japan, and then how it has impacted various other languages in the world. So all these things he very beautifully, and how peacefully it spread to all other places, because usually language spreads along with a religion and usually with violence. But in the case of Sanskrit, it went in a very, very peaceful way. Peaceful way, only the culture, by mere spreading of culture, it went, and in a very peaceful manner. That is what he beautifully explains in that book. So you can make a note of that book, that Empires of the World. So anyway, ekamapyasthitaha. So even if you just say thoroughly implement one thing, one particular option, you are going to get the result of both. So that is the meaning of the shloka. Let us see the bhashyam. Sankhya yoga viti.
Sankhya yoga viti.
Sankhya yogau.
Sankhya yogau.
Pruthak viruddha bhinna phalau.
Pruthak viruddha bhinna phalau.
Balaha pravadanti.
Balaha pravadanti.
Na panditaha.
Na panditaha.
This also is simple. Pruthak means viruddha bhinna phalau. Pruthak means those which give diverse result, different result. Iti balaha pravadanti. Only immature people vadanti. Vadanti, we know, they say. Na panditaha. Panditaha na pravadanti. Then panditastu.
Panditastu.
Jnaninaha.
Jnaninaha.
Ekam phalam.
Ekam phalam.
Aviruddham ichanti.
Aviruddham ichanti.
So jnani. Panditaha means panda atmavishayakam jnanam yasyate panditaha. Earlier in some place we read it. Pandita, what is the meaning of pandita? Pandita is one who has panda is a pandita. What is panda? Panda is not that some North Indian Oriya panda or anything like. Panda does not mean that. Panda means Atma Vishayakam Jnanam. That is knowledge of the self. Panda means knowledge of the self. One who has knowledge of the self is Pandita. So that is the meaning. Panditaha evam navadanti. Panditaha means Jnaninaha. Ekam phalam aviruddham ichanti. They desire or they expect only one phalam, aviruddham, without any contradiction. Aviruddham ichanti. Then katham. Ekamapi Sankhya yogayoho samyak asthitaha samyak anushthitavan ityarthaha ubhayoho vindate phalam ubhayoho तदेव हि निश्रेयसं फलम् अतः न फले विरोधः अस्ति. So katham, how? Ekamapi Sankhya-yogayoho samyak asthitah samyak anushthitavan. Even if you sincerely and very correctly practice one particular path, Ubhayoho vindate phalam, Ubhayoho tadevahi nishresam phalam. For both of them, for both these goals, for both these paths, the goal is same. Ubhayoho tadevahi nishresam phalam. That nishresam itself is the phalam. One is slowly leading and the other is Sakshad Upakarakam, the other is indirectly Upakarakam. Yesterday also I was saying, one is Antaranga Sadhanam, Dhyana Yoga is Antaranga Sadhanam, then Jnana is Sakshat Moksha Karanam, then Karma Yoga is Bahiranga Sadhanam, but at the same time it is a Sadhanam. That is what we were seeing. Nishreyasa Phalam Ataha Na Phale Virodha Asti. So here there is a small Purvapaksha. The discussion, you see, how did the question begin? The question began about Sannyasa and Karma Yoga, isn't it? Lord Krishna is now saying about Sankhya and Yoga. I asked one thing, you are saying something different. That is what somebody can say. So that is the Purvapaksha here. Is it clear?
Yes.
In the beginning, Sannyasa, Karma Yoga, Sannyasam, Karmanam, Krishna, Punar Yogam cha Shamsasi. So that is Sannyasa and Karma Yoga. That was the question. Whereas in this shloka, you read this shloka, Sankhya Yoga Pruthak Balaha Pravadanti. He is now talking about Sankhya and Yoga. We asked about Sannyasa and Karma Yoga. He is telling about Sankhya and Karma Yoga. How is it? How is it that you are telling something irrelevant? Is it not?
Yes.
If you read Gita straight away, that question may arise in somebody's mind. How is it that Krishna is saying something different or something which is digressing from what has been asked and then he is saying something irrelevant? So that sort of feeling may come in your mind. So that is why, that is the Purvapaksham. Nanu Sannyasa Karma Yoga Shabdena Prastutya
Sannyasa Karma Yoga Shabdena Prastutya
Sankhya Yogayoho Phalaikatvam Kathamiha Prakrutam Braviti.
Kathamiha Aprakrutam Braviti.
Yes, so this is the Purvapaksha. This is what just now I explained. What that is, Sannyasa Karma Yoga Shabdena Prastutya. Just this Prastavana, this whole topic is, this Prastavana is the whole discussion is regarding Sannyasa and Karma Yoga. So in that context, how can you bring something else out of context? Something, is it not irrelevant? So that is it. Prastutya Sankhya Yoga Yoha Phalaikatvam. I asked about Sannyasa and Karma Yoga. You are talking about Sankhya and Yoga. What is this? Sankhya Yoga Yoha Phalaikatvam Kathamiha Aprakrutam. Aprakrutam means something which is not relevant to the context. Prakrutam means that is the context. Whatever is contextual is Prakrutam. Aprakrutam is whatever is non-contextual. That is Aprakrutam. Aprakrutam Braviti. Naisha doshaha. Then reply is Naisha doshaha.
Naisha doshaha.
Na esha doshaha. Na plus esha. Esha means this. Doshaha, fault. Na esha dosha means no, this is not a fault. He is going to explain. How? Let us see. Yadyapi Arjunena Sannyasam Karmayogam cha kevalam Abhipretya Prashnah Krutaha Bhagavanstu Tad Aparityagenaiva Swabhipretam cha Vishesham Sanyojya Shabdantara Vachyataya Prativachanam Dadau Sankhya Yoga Viti. Okay, so he is saying, so Lord Krishna has not given up that say topic. Lord Krishna, he is keeping in mind that topic. In fact, he gave a reply to that. But he is also adding one or two more things. He is also adding some additional information. He is giving some additional information. And then he is giving these two ideas about Sankhya and Yoga. He has already talked about Sannyasa and Karma Yoga. He said Karma Yoga is superior. But then he added one more. He is now in this shloka, he is adding, he is giving some additional information. So that is what Shankaracharya is saying. So let us see this line. Naisha dosha Yadyapi Arjunena Sannyasam Karma Yogam cha kevalam. Karma Yogam kevalam means Karma Yoga, Sannyasam kevalam means Sannyasa without knowledge and Karma Yoga. Only that thing were asked. Prashna Kurtaha. Prashna was made by Arjuna like that. Bhagavanstu tad aparityagenaiva. Tad aparityagena means without leaving that. He has not strayed away from that. He has not deviated or digressed from that. Tad अपरित्यागेनैव स्व अभिप्रेतं च विशेषं संयोज्य he is adding some new information, he is giving some additional information शब्दान्तरवाच्यतया, that is in other words, in slightly different terminology, means slightly different words. Shabdantara Shabdantara means in slightly different words. He is adding certain new information. Prativachanam dadau Sankhya Yoga Viti. What is this additional information? Let us read this line. Taveva Sannyasa Karma Yogau Jnana Tadupaya Samabuddhitvat Samabuddhitvadi Sanyuktau
समबुद्धित्वादि संयुक्तौ
सांख्य योग शब्द वाच्याविति वाच्याविति वाच्यौ प्लस इति वाच्याविति भगवतः मतम् अतः न अप्रकृत प्रक्रिया इति. Okay, then what all Krishna is saying is, you have talked about sannyasa and yoga. I have told about that between those two things, sannyasa, I have very clearly said. I am only adding something here. What is this? You add jnana to sannyasa. When you add jnana to sannyasa, what does it become? It becomes Sankhya. Jnana plus sannyasa becomes Sankhya. Then samatva, you add samatva. Samatva means equanimity of mind. Samatva, equanimity of mind. He is very consciously practicing that equanimity. Not that he is a jnani, he is very consciously practicing whatever are the qualities of a jnani. So that is it. So samatva you add to yoga, this karma yoga. Instead of doing some simple karma yoga, you also practice certain virtues which are seen in a jnani. So there is a slight addition, some sort of value addition as we call it. He is just adding something. That is, add jnanam to sannyasa and add this samatva to what you call karma yoga. Then they become Sankhya and Yoga. That is the meaning in this shloka. So he is adding certain things. You see this line, Taveva, Tau Eva means the same two things, Sannyasa Karma Yoga, Sannyasa and Karma Yoga, Jnana Tadupaya Samabuddhitvadi Sanyuktau. So, Jnana Samyuktaha. Jnana Samyuktaha means associated with Jnana. Samyukta. What is Samyukta? Sanyoga. You know the word Sanyoga? Sanyoga means union. Samyukta means united. Jnanam united, sannyasa united with jnanam. That is sannyasa jnana samyuktaha. Then yogaha samabuddhi samyuktaha. Yoga associated or united with samabuddhi. So these words, simple words only, sanyukta is something which is united. So these two things which are united, Sankhya Yoga Shabda Vachyau. You add jnanam to sannyasa, it becomes Sankhyam. You add this samabuddhi to karma yoga. This is what is meant by yoga in this particular line, in this particular shloka. Samabuddhitvadi sanyuktau, Sankhya Yoga Shabda Vachyau. These are what are designated. Shabda Vachyau means designated by these two words. Designated by these two words. Bhagavataha matam. That is what is in the mind of Lord Krishna. Then ataha na aprakruta prakriya. It is not something which is irrelevant. This particular line, have you understood?
Yes, sir.
What the question was, the doubt was, we have asked something about sannyasa and yoga only. You are telling about Sankhya. What Shankaracharya is saying is, no, it is not say something irrelevant. Krishna has only added some. He has added some additional information in this particular thing. What is that? Sankhya, you add jnanam to sannyasa and add samabuddhi to something. Samabuddhi, what is samabuddhi? That equanimity of mind. That is what we have seen. That is shunichaiva shvapakecha panditas samadarshinaha. That is of course in the case of a jnani. But then that quality of a jnani, this gentleman who is a karma yogi, he is consciously cultivating that samabuddhi, that equanimity, and that is, in fact, this is one point which we get repeatedly in Upanishads. In Taittiriya Upanishad also, say when they are talking about dharma, whenever you have got a doubt about that dharma, you must be knowing that mantra. Atha yadite dharma vichikitsava vrutta vichikitsava syat. You know that mantra? So all these Swamijis who come, they recite this mantra. So not Swamijis, all these Purohits who come to our houses, they recite this mantra. Atha yadite dharma vichikitsava vrutta vichikitsava syat. Whenever you have got a doubt about some dharma or about conduct in a particular situation, ye tatra brahmana sammarshinaha. You follow, you see who are in that particular place. Suppose you go to a new place, you do not know what is the dharma, what is the sort of achara there. Then you please observe who are the learned people there. Learned people means not merely learned and crooked, but good people. This brahmana means one who is a jnani. In that sense it is used. Those jnanis, whatever behavior those jnanis follow. Brahmana sammarshinaha. Sammarshinaha means samadarshinaha. So that samadarshitvam, that is dispassionate view, disinterested view. This disinterested view is another important word. We should know the difference between uninterested and disinterested. You know the meaning? Uninterested is something I am not just interested in that. Disinterested means I am totally impartial. I am disinterested person in a situation, means I am very much interested in those things, interested in solving the issue. I am very much interested in finding out a solution, but I am disinterested in the two parties. That is, I am a samadarshi. I am having that equanimity of mind. So that is called disinterestedness. So aluksha dharma kamasyuhu, that follows like that. Brahmana sammarshinaha yukta ayuktaha aluksha dharma kamasyuhu. Those who are interested in dharma only, those who are interested in maintaining that 4 minutes. Okay. So that is that disinterestedness, dispassion and samabuddhi, that equanimity, almost similar synonymous words. So this is what is meant here. Matam ataha na prakruta prakriya. So he has added some new thing. So that is why it is not something which is irrelevant. So let us see the next thing. Ekasyapi samyak anushthanat katham ubhayoh phalam vindate ityuchyate. So in this shloka I was saying, the earlier shloka said, even if you hold on to one thing in a very, very firm manner, even if you hold on to one particular path, one particular option in a firm and sincere manner, you will get the phalam for both. So that is what, how is it? So that is the question here. Yaditi. Let us read this shloka. Yat sankhyai prapyate jnanam sthanam tad yogairapi gamyate ekam sankhyan cha yogam cha yah pashyati sapashyati. So wherever you get this thing, yah pashyati sapashyati means one who has this understanding is the one with right understanding. Yah pashyati, one who sees like this, sapashyati, he sees correctly. Sees means one who has that understanding. Yah pashyati sapashyati. Such that word is generally seen in several places. Yah pashyati sapashyati means one who has this understanding. He is the one with right understanding. So that is it. What is this? Yat sankhyehi prapyate sthanam. Yat sthanam sankhyehi prapyate. Whatever position is attained by these jnanis, whatever position is attained, sankhyehi means those who follow the sankhya path. Tat yogairapi gamyate. Tat means tat sthanam, that particular position. Yogaihi api. Yogaihi means karma yogi bhihi api. By these karma yogis also gamyate. Gamyate means it is attained. Attained, not followed. It is attained. Tad yogairapi gamyate. Ekam sankhyancha yogamcha yah pashyati sapashyati. So the one who sees sankhya and yoga as one. Sankyam cha, yogam cha. Sankyam on one hand and yoga on one hand. One who sees it as ekam. He sees it as one and one only. Sapashyati. So he is the man with a proper understanding. This shloka is very simple. Yat sankhyehi prapyate sthanam. Yat sthanam sankhyehi prapyate. Whatever sthanam, whatever position is attained by these jnanis, the yogis also attain the same thing. And then the wise people see that these two are one and the same. So that is the meaning of the shloka. Then here yoga means karma yogi. Yoga is karma yoga. Then let us read this thing. Is the time over?
1 more minute.
Or okay, we will read the say bhashyam tomorrow. Get sankhyehi sankhyanishtahi. Okay, we will read it tomorrow. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Avashishyate ओम शांति शांति शांति।